Hi guys, welcome to lesson 313, Course in Miracles, day to day, easy peasy. Now let a new perception come to me. Struggling big time today. So how can I help you when I'm struggling? I'm the teacher, trying to come up with a better day today, considering how I feel. Now let a new perception come to me. Well, okay, I've got it, I think. Today has been really difficult again. Tried to take the chain off, but couldn't. And got another email from the family that I was born into, asked me to accept less than again. And the temper is everywhere, and the rage, and why me, and why can't I walk, blah, blah, blah. The ego is working on me all the time. We've got days like this. I bet you've got days like this where, you know, where you could woken up and didn't want to get up, didn't want to carry on with the day. So what could I do to help you and to help myself on a day like today? What this thing about perception, when I think about the fact that when I went into the therapeutic community, I was a mess. I fought with everyone. I was angry all the time. I was unhappy. I was a total mess. I made myself, my life, and everybody else's a nightmare. And 2 years, once the community ended, a year later, I had total inner peace for 6 years. Okay? So the perception is that that happened. Okay? So I'm looking at that when it happened. And then when I look at 2 years before I met my husband, before we got married actually, I had been in a terrible relationship where I'd actually been thrown out of the relationship. The children were taken away, his children. He wanted me to have nothing to do with them. And yet 2 years later, I'm married to my husband, who's still my husband. So what if what's happening to me today, this time next year, everything will be different? What if this is a new perception of looking at it? What if this time next year I'm walking and dancing and running again? What if this time next year I've actually got on Britain's Got Talent, because we won't know till February? What if this time next year, what if? There's no point in staying in the pain and the suffering when it could be that I'm wrong. It could be that I don't know anything. The pain and suffering ends. It did end when I surrendered in the therapeutic community. Another example, maybe it's good to think of these examples. My husband and I had to move. Remember, if you followed me, you know that we've had to move a year and a half ago. And we couldn't find anywhere for 8 months because they wouldn't have the cats. So we surrendered one day. We sat down and we prayed and we handed it over, and this house turned up. And the estate agent really fought for us to take us because of the cats. And then we got a house, a lovely house to live in. We surrendered. So what if that's the answer? What if I need to surrender to the grief that Dad's gone, the grief that I can't walk, the grief of everything at the moment, the loneliness, the pain of the family and what they're doing? I said I'm not going to be a beggar again. But what if I just surrender to being that? Just surrender. Just give in. Is that the answer? I fought tooth and nail in the community, and anyone who knows me knows this, before I surrendered. And then one day I realized, hang on a second, why don't people like me? Why are they trying to get rid of me out of this community? And I just said something to my husband that evening. I said, don't let me go back. And it made me realize that I wasn't to blame for any of my childhood issues, and I forgave myself. And I got 6 years of inner peace, right? And like I say, I've always got over everything, and you probably will as well. But what if the answer is, I then surrendered. I surrendered to the fact, I just asked myself, why does no one like me? Why do they keep throwing me out, getting rid of me out of their lives, in the community basically? And it was because I hated me. And at this moment in my life, I don't love me. How can I love me? I feel like a tiny child looking for her parents, but it's very hard for me to love me when I'm full of rage and fear. So maybe that's the answer. Forgive me. Maybe I'll do Colin Tipping, the 13 steps to self-forgiveness. You forgive all those that have hurt you, but you're really forgiving yourself. Okay, so maybe that's an idea, eh? Maybe that's the point of where we get the inner peace, where we say, you know what, I can't do anything about this. You know what, I can't do anything about this. I rang the Samaritans twice today and spoke to them about everything. I was on the verge of I don't know what, just feeling really, really low. And I said to them, you know, I'd never do anything to myself because I've seen situations, dark night of the soul, and we come through it. I've seen it. I've seen it time and time again, but I keep forgetting that. So I'm going through another dark night of the soul, and you maybe do too. But what if this is just temporary, like all the other dark night of the souls? And when you come through, you're stronger, you're more confident, you're happier. Maybe, eh? What if? So what I'm trying to say is, I spoke to the Samaritans and I came up with an idea. They said to me, you know, it's only 3 weeks before you go back to the doctor, Lauren, and hopefully they're going to take off the brace and you'll be driving. And I figured out that if I drive to them, they would take the wheelchair out of the car and help me. So that's it, sorted. So if whenever I go anywhere, I'm sure people will help me take the wheelchair out of the car. That was my biggest worry, that if I drive, I won't be able to get anywhere because I can't walk yet. But then, as I spoke to them, I told them about the therapeutic community. I told them about my other dark nights of the soul, where I thought that I would never recover. When I think about the fact that I sat in my home in Israel as a child and never thought I'd ever go to a party or anything, and because I had no friends. And then as soon as I was old enough, I go out there and made a good life. And I'd fun, the fun that I never had as a child. So it all ended. I ended it. Now the leg is healing. There's no reason why it shouldn't keep healing. And then eventually, as I say, to me, it's really important to be able to drive and get out of here and be able to go to the people, be able to go to the Samaritans, be able to experience maybe volunteering at the village hall. I tried to get on the mobile scooter yesterday and it was the wrong decision for me because my balance is gone because of the leg. It was really scary. So there you go. So I hope this little lesson helps you guys. It's there for me. It's there for you. Think of the times you've come through. That's what we need to do. Rather than sitting there crying about what's going on at the moment, think of the times you've come through. And your life, a year later, you look back and you think, oh my God, how did I cope with that? But you're here and you're stronger. And a year from now, I think, wow, look at me, I'm dancing, I'm jumping up and down. Piaf and Maria are everywhere again. I'm on, I'm going, if I don't get on Britain's Got Talent, I've just been to another audition, this time walking on my own 2 legs. And the petition, wow, we've got, 100,000 signatures by this time next year. And I'm on that box. So think about that instead of thinking about, oh my God, today, tomorrow, this week, what will I do? What will I do? Think about the fact that you've been through it before and you will go through it again because that's life. But every time we go through it, we get stronger and stronger. Course in Miracles has carried me for years and I am stronger, even though I don't think I am. People used to say to me in the community that they never experienced anything like it because the way I was treated, they would have run a mile. They said I had the skin of a rhinoceros. Rhinoceros? I don't know. Anyway, you guys, as I'm saying, if you can do it, we can do it together. And everything is a lesson and a mirror. And hopefully, as I say, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Love you lots. Take care. Bye.